Hi everybody, Mike Brown back again. Welcome back to Educator.com's Adobe Photoshop Elements Beginning and Intermediate course. We've dealt with Bridge to get images ready to work on. We've looked at the entire workspace in detail of the expert mode. We've talked about sharpening. Now it's time to get working on images. And in this lesson, we're going to do easy image enhancement with the quick edit mode and the guided edit mode. 3 modes up here. We're in the expert mode right now. Let's take a look at quick edit. Open up the photo bin. We'll pick this picture to work on. And we have options for view, before and after, horizontal or vertical. I like it this way, horizontally. A limited toolbox, zoom tool, hand tool, a selection tool, which we'll use in a moment. Red eye to fix red eye in flash shots. Teeth whitener, just brush it over and it takes the yellow away, just like your toothpaste. Text, if you want to add text. Spot healing and cropping. Basics. And on this side, we have sharpening, color, 2 color controls, 2 exposure controls, and a smart overall fix that does everything. Remember, sharpening first, exposure second, because exposure affects color. You notice with the stop sign at noon, it's very bright red. As the day gets on and it gets darker, the red changes. That's because the exposure is going down. So you want to make exposure changes first, because if you do the color first and change the exposure, the color will change and you'll have to do it again. Exposure first, color second. Of course, sharpening first, exposure second, color third. So let's take a look at sharpening. And this is the way everything is in quick mode. You have a slider. You also have the curved arrow is the starting point. The blue bounding box is the level of whatever you're selecting when you click on it. The white is just hovering. And you notice the slider moves. So if I move the slider back to here, that's just putting a little bit in. I know this image doesn't need sharpening, so we're just going to go ahead and leave it at 0. And we'll start with exposure. So what I'm going to do is take the levels. We'll start with the shadows. And we'll just hover. And you notice it's opening up the shadows a little bit or a little bit more. I kind of like that. And I'll take the midtones. Let's go back to the shadows and make sure it was there. That's where I wanted it. Midtones. We want to bring the midtones down a little bit. There we go. And the highlights, we're just fine on the highlights. So you can see before and after, it's more vibrant. So we'll just go ahead and take that. And I'm going to go hit the exposure right now and just darken it. Maybe pop it. There we go. A little more exposure right there. Take that, click, we've got it. And you can always revert by doing this back to the very beginning as they're adding up step